Hey friends, so last time we created a additional rosette for my 4 rosettes for the requirement for my pool party swap. So we have our rosettes completed, and I'm going to go on here and check off this, and then I may create the bows, so I'm just going to cross out the rosettes there. And then next thing I need to do is decorate my embellishment box. I have one of these small embellishment boxes that I purchased from Amazon. They come in like a set of like 12, and I chose the blue one. And then I grabbed this fun paper with everybody swimming in the pool, or it could be the ocean, but I think this is a pool. And since this is a pool party swap, I thought this would be a fun background paper, and then we can decorate on top. So I do have my glue gun on. I've got my foam tape. I'm going to need my paper trimmer and a ruler, and then I'll grab some different embellishments and stickers when it's time to decorate. So first things first, I want to measure my embellishment box. So this is 6 3/4. So let's go ahead and do 6 1/2. And this way it is just shy of 3 3/4. So let's do 3 7/8. So I'm going to grab my paper trimmer, and I need to take off this white border that my printer insists recently to print on here. I'm not sure why, but it's insisting on printing out this border. So we know the length is 6 1/2, so I'm going to go ahead and trim this 6 1/2. And let's trim some more of that white off. And then we need it to be 3 7/8, which is just past a half. And then I'm going to test this out. So we could make it, actually, let's go ahead and do this at 3 1/2. So 3 1/2 by 6 1/2. Let's try that. Yep, 3 1/2 by 6. 3 1/2 by 6 1/2, and we're gonna punch. We're gonna corner around these corners. And you could go ahead and add the same paper in the inside, or you could choose a different paper if you would like. So let me go to my scrap bin, and let's see if there's any fun paper I could use for the inside. So I think most of what I have is pretty small. I've got this. This would be fun. It says pool time. We could add that in the inside. So we're going to do 3 1/2. By 6 1/2. Just checking that these sides are squared up. Yes. All right, so we have our 2 pieces. So you can put your paper trimmer away. Now grab a corner rounder, whatever you have, or you could do this by hand. I am going to grab my crocodile for this. And we are going to punch these together. And I'm going to use the 1/4 inch side. All right, there we go. And you're done with your crocodile. All right, so just a reminder, our pieces for this particular box are 3.5 by 6.5. And I have a sheet for the front and a sheet for the inside here. That'll help cover up any glue that you might see. So let's go ahead and add these down, and I'm going to use some double-sided tape for this. And this is from Michaels. This is a Recollection brand. You can also use the Dollar Tree brands or scrapbook.com, whatever kind that you have. Once you have your tape down, you're going to want to take a bone folder, the edge of your scissors, your ruler, whatever you have close to you, and kind of burnish the tape down. That way it adheres nicely to the paper. And it'll make it easier for you to pull this up. So I'm going to add the piece in the inside first. And I like to use my pokey tool to get my tape started, especially on this Michaels tape. Like, I feel like I don't have as much problem on the Dollar Tree tape that I do with this Michaels tape because it really does not want to stick. Even after burnishing it down, it does not stick to the paper. So, not a huge fan of the Michaels double-sided tape. So after you have all of your tape removed, we can go ahead and add this down. And you want to kind of center this in the center. And then after I'm done, I like to take my bone folder and go over it. Get in those corners really well. And adhere that down. And then we are going to repeat with our top piece. And when you put your top piece on, you want to make sure you line up with that inner piece. It's not going to be probably perfect, but you want to do the best that you can of covering up that inner piece. And then just go back and make sure that glue is nice and adhered. So you can see a little bit of the piece here, and it's not fully centered, but that's okay. So now our box is ready to decorate, and that is the fun part. So now you have to decide how you want to decorate this. So I should have mentioned, if you want to stitch these panels or make this a shaker, you need to do that before you lay this down. I decided to not do a shaker this time. I like to do shakers on my embellishment boxes, but this time I decided not to. And also, if you want to add a piece on the bottom here, you can do that as well. I like to be able to kind of see what's in my box, so I don't add anything at the bottom. So let me grab some ephemera and pieces. You could do something simple and add like a ruffle here. I think one of these says something about being in the pool. Or we have these fun, she's a little big, but she could work. We have some sunscreen. Nothing that talks about being in the sun. We have look on the sunny side or stay cool. And those are different things in this collection. And this is really, really large for this girl. So we could do something like that, or we could grab, these are all cut out pretty small, so I feel like they're pretty small to be on the front here. See if we have another. Yeah, I'm kind of leaning towards this larger die cut here. And look on the sunny side or stay cool. Kind of like that. I don't think I want to add the ruffle with this though. Let's see, what else do we have? We also have like a little ice cream truck. I'd like to have like maybe a floaty or something with her. All right, so I'm grabbing out this Summer Dreams sticker sheet from Echo Park because I'd like to do maybe like a floaty or something behind her. So we have like the flamingo floaty. We also have this that looks like a beach ball. Or we have this large donut floaty. But I feel like that's just a little bit too big behind her. And all right, I'm not liking the donut for sure. So let's add that back to our sheet here. And we've got the beach ball. Let's maybe add the beach ball. Or this might not necessarily be a beach ball, but it kind of reminds me of a beach ball. So maybe we'll add her and then the beach ball, and then we'll have the stay cool. And I feel like I want to have some sort of trim or something underneath here. Something fun and maybe sparkly. Let's see. All right, I have some silver mesh. Oh, actually, I kind of like that because it kind of looks like waves. So let's trim some of this. Making a mess over with all of my tulle and trims. All right, so we're going to have that. And let's trim it. All right, so that's good. And then let's just trim this up. Okay, yeah, I kind of like that. It kind of reminds me of waves or like the sun sparkling off of the water. All right, so let's add that down. And then we'll do our girl and our stay cool. All right, so let's add a little piece of this down here and a little piece here to help hold this down temporarily until we add our other pieces on top. All right, let's grab the foam tape. And I'm almost out of a whole nother roll of foam tape. Let's pop up our girl who is tanning, or she could be floating in the water as well. Kind of looks more like a towel, but it could be one of those floaties. We're going to put her at an angle. And then we need to pop up our beach ball. And I'm going to get the sticky off of the rest of the sticker using some of my cornstarch. And my little top of this broke off. So I have to use a paintbrush, which is okay. Lets me paint directly where I need it. Or you could take it and carefully tip some out, but I always tend to make a mess doing that. All right, let me dust this off over my trash can. You want to make sure that you keep your cover on your foam tape when you're doing this so you don't make your foam tape unsticky. All right, and then we're going to add our Summer Lovin' beach ball. And then let's pop up our Stay Cool. And let's add that over in this corner. Okay, cute. Let's see. I think it'd be cool to have, these are too big. Those sunglasses are too big. Flip-flops are too big. We have some wooden sunglasses. She's actually wearing glasses. So, don't see any of those that I could use. So let's just use some gems. And could even use some of these larger ones since we have a good amount of space, or maybe these larger ones. Let's use these. And I'm going to add a little glue down with these because this last pack I got from Hobby Lobby, the sticky part has been peeling off the back. This will also help the mesh here to stay. And let's grab maybe a clear one, and we'll do a little cluster of 3. A little cluster of 3 there, and then we'll bring a blue one over here. And then we'll do one of these kind of purpley pinks. I feel like I'm missing something here, but I think this is good. Okay, there we go. Got some gems down. How cute. And I think I will create a dangle for this, or maybe a tassel for the side, but it's super simple, super cute. And then we've got the inside here, which could be decorated. Let's see. Let's maybe grab those floaties that we were going to use, and we could layer them up in here. That where we're using some more of our stickers. And then let's see, we have a little sunglasses that says Sun Fun. Let's add them in this corner here. And then we decorated the inside with flat stuff so it doesn't interfere with this. And that is my embellishment box. How cool did this turn out? So we are going to fill this in the next video because this is a super long video and I don't want this to be like a 40-minute video for you guys. So we will come back and fill this up in the next video. So thanks guys for stopping by and for another video in my swap series. I hope you enjoyed this video, guys, and I hope you have a wonderful day. Bye.